there is little, I think, that we should be more proud of in the NEU than the strong stance we've taken on international issues, the struggle for Palestinian freedom. In particular, the trade union movement, of course, needs to build strength in the workplace. It needs to build industrial strength, but the best of the trade union movement has always seen fight in the workplace linked to the international fight for justice and fight for a strong workers' movement internationally and freedom for all. I don't think we could really call ourselves an education union if what was happening in Palestine was not at the top of our agenda. We often deal with academy trusts and academy CEOs who we criticise because they're only interested in the children in their own schools, in their own trusts. We, as an education union, would be no better if we were only interested in the children in our own country and not those internationally. And what is happening to children in Gaza and now more and more in the West Bank and Lebanon really defies comprehension. We know that tens of thousands have been killed. The reality is probably many times that. We know that 10 children a day are having limbs amputated without anaesthetic. We know that 90% or thereabouts of Gaza's schools are now damaged or destroyed completely. That 625,000 students have not had any education for a year, and of course are suffering trauma that we can barely begin to understand. How could any education union stand by and say that is not our business to stand up against? The NEU has taken policy through TUC. We have supported, and Louise is absolutely key to this, supported policy going through Education International, which is the international education union body. At the World Congress this year, in fact, Israel was entirely isolated, even the American unions coming aboard. You condemn what is happening. Now, you can perhaps say, well, what does it matter that these bodies pass motions? Of course, it's only one arena of struggle, but it is important to legitimise and normalise if the leadership of the movement is saying, you know, they are standing up against what is happening, that it empowers our members on the ground to do the same. And I think the same could be said at the demonstration. Very proud, Daniel, past presidents, Louise, has consistently spoken, and we've had a very visible presence on the mass demonstrations of the NEU. And again, that's important because it shows our members that this is somewhere they can be, there should be, and actually they must be. And I'm proud to continue that. But really, I think what today is crucially been about is how you can take that work down into the workplaces and build at base. And the NEU has very much been trying to support our members in building that activity in the workplace. It can often seem small scale. In my own school, we have a group that meets regularly to discuss the situation and to plan events. Now, it's, you know, it might seem, and it is very small, but it would have been worth doing the bake sales and things we've done in school if it was only to show that we cared to a student, for example, parents both from Gaza City. It would be worth it on that alone. Of course, it does open up space for students and teachers and staff to talk about situations. I've seen colleagues who've got, you know, close family ties to Israel go from being very sceptical about the solidarity movement through those events in the workplace, from seeing to their colleagues who they know and trust, who feel so passionate about this, it's going to the point where they're now attending demonstrations, pushing for assemblies, pushing for students to have space and the right to discuss this. Those things are what we can do as an education union. We've got a lot more to do. I think we've got a lot more to do to empower our members to understand how BDS can be pushed in schools, how we can give people the materials and the ability to feel confident to talk about what's happening. And that's obviously really important. I think now it is undeniable, and Ben obviously put it far better than I ever could, that this is not a war triggered by October 7th that will have a neat ending when the Israeli government has reached its war aims. It is a part of an ongoing systematic oppression, ethnic cleansing and colonisation of the area. And I think we can now also clearly see, unbelievably, that no amount of statistics, horror on the ground, no amount of statistics about killed, dead, murdered Palestinian children seems to be enough to convince Keir Starmer, Joe Biden, that they need to turn off the arms supply. I don't believe that simply moral arguments are going to work, and that's where workplace power absolutely comes into this. We need to build the movement so we can show that there are consequences for them for continuing to supply arms to facilitate a genocide. And I believe it is only alongside resistance of the Palestinians themselves that turning off that arms supply is how Israel is stopped and the war machine faulted. So thank you again for the invite. I hope you will be going away from this conference with ideas about how to talk to your colleagues at work and how to build in your unions that power that we need. Of course, I'm sure we're all heading down to the demonstrations now. And I pledge absolutely that the NEU will continue to support the Palestine Solidarity Campaign and Palestinian freedom. So thank you very much. It's an honour to be here. Let's get out and demonstrate. Free Palestine.